Greetings, everyone, and welcome to my sketchbook. I was at the dollar store today and I saw this, which is the last one that was sitting in a display. And I'll tell you the truth about these things, or at least the truth to me. I don't like blind boxes unless you know the codes, which in this case I do not, mainly because this seems like a sinister way of getting rid of plastic. And if there's like one figure that there's a lot of, then you're kind of like you're it'd be better if they just sold the complete set of 12 in this case rather than giving you this, you know, yeah, if you don't want 5 of these ones where you really only want this and this or whatever. Anyway, I'm just not a fan of blind boxes. But what we're going to do is we're going to open this up and see what's inside of it. And I don't even know if I'd say that this is fun. Anyway, so just so you know, there's a choking hazard with this. Uh, let's open this up. Plastic, that's what they're giving you is plastic. We don't need more plastic. Man, what a nuisance. Hey, at least it's got a cardboard box, so that should be recyclable. All right. So this is like a legend of sorts, like a checklist, and this is what allows you to dream about getting the figures. Oh, joy. Anyway, and on the inside there's another really fun bit of packaging. So I'll tell you this much. Of any of the figures, I kind of like Chromie. And this is like Chromie's little symbol that you see here on this hood. And of course there's Hello Kitty and the bow. And anyway, so let's open this part up. I don't know why I'm being so cautious in opening this. Well, look at that. I got the main little buddy. So that's Hello Kitty. Hooray, everybody. Let's set that aside for a moment. So this is more junk that I'm just going to end up giving away because I don't really need this sitting around. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a little Hello Kitty drawing, I think, just because I think that's funny. We'll get out this pen. We'll open up the inkwell beside me. And we'll get a look at this. So the bow is kind of like one of the main features of this little creature. The overalls. Okay, well that kind of gives me an idea of what Hello Kitty is all about. And what are we going to have Hello Kitty doing? Well, I don't know if I want to go with exactly that figurine. Let's zoom in on this. Okay, so I'm going to draw the main sort of part of Hello Kitty's head, and it's just going to be kind of rough, so I don't want you to be upset that I'm somehow ruining the integrity of Hello Kitty. I like to leave little spaces for the ears, just because that's built into me to do that. The bow, ooh, I'm about to drip there. Okay, the bow, which is kind of a multi-stage thing. just like that. The nose, you don't really get to see a mouth with Hello Kitty. So, and then the whiskers, which kind of, you can start up here at the eyes if you wish. However you like to do this. Kind of like that. I'll dip the pen here again. So what are we going to have Hello Kitty doing? Well, I don't even know if Hello Kitty is like right-handed or left-handed, or even if that matters. We are going to let's try to figure that out in a moment. We'll have a little bit of wave going on here, and on this side we will do this. Now kind of like, you know, Mickey Mouse, there's like buttons, I guess, that would hold that down. Little dark eyes. Okay, well, I think that's the main thing that we have going on. Now I'm going to do just kind of like a bit of line darkening here. And as I said, this isn't meant to be completely accurate. This is just a doodle. So you can do this as you wish. For fun, let's get out my good buddy the bunny pen. Oh yeah, this is probably one of the funnest things, as far as I'm concerned, that you can add to your little art package for traveling. It's a multi-color pen. So let's use some of the colors with this. And I'm going to start off with this blue. Well, you know what? Let's start off with yellow, because I think going with the lightest color is probably the easiest thing. So I'm going to do the nose in yellow. I do the sleeves of this shirt in yellow. The neck. I'm dragging around some of the ink here because I'm not using permanent ink. Very rarely do I use permanent ink unless it's, well, in my sketchbook I don't like using it. Next, let's go with the blue. We'll go with the overall here. The idea of wearing overalls is wondrous. If you want to get out there quickly, wearing overalls is the way to go. Hello Kitty's kind of meant, in my opinion, meant to be kind of like a simple enough thing. I think some of the best comic ideas are the ones that are easily repeatable. So Snoopy is fantastic, and Ziggy. So the ones that when you're sitting around and you're just thinking about funny things, you should be able to draw some of your favorite characters reasonably fast. If you want to draw like Iron Man has a lot of like complicated features. Now you probably, if you can see what I'm doing here, I'm actually kind of faking my way through some straps, which is probably unnecessary. So I'm kind of going against what I'm saying here, but the main figure I drew reasonably fast. Okay, so that's Hello Kitty. Red because the bow is red. So just so you know, at some point in the very near future, I'm going to do a more serious version of something that I hinted at doing a little bit ago, which would be a Hello Kitty K-pop Demon Hunter mashup. So that'll be coming up here very soon. And we'll see how that goes. But there you go. I mean, 11 minutes to get to this point. Could I, just for fun, do a slightly more complicated version of that? Well, yes, I could. So let's see what we can do as a slightly more complicated version of that. So I have the pen here, of course. Now, should I just flip this around? Sure. Oh, and if you want to see that in how I do that, I have this kind of like a stand here, a turntable, and I'm just gonna, rotate that. So easy enough. I'm gonna go to here, and let's try to complicate this a little bit. I may use the bunny pen here again. All right, well, yeah, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to draw a little lighter, but I still have to dip the pen. I do enjoy a dip pen. So I'm making little tiny marks at a time here. Now, the bow I'm going to put in first. I left the space for the ear. Let's go with the nose right about here. That's the rough looking sort of thing going on with the face there, but let's see. I'm going to fill in those whiskers just a little bit there. I remember hearing somewhere that Hello Kitty is actually a person who dresses up to hang out in this world. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's a funny sort of idea that you might have the use of your imagination to do something and go on an adventure. I kind of like the idea of that, to be honest with you. So I put that little glimmer in the eye there. which is kind of an interesting thing, that little eye glimmer. I used to think that drawing that with some version of like windows is way more fun. And the windows that I would have drawn, they would have been, how can I say this? Kind of like a 4-pane glass. Anyway, that's a weird thing from childhood, just thinking about that. And if I drew a balloon, it was often that same way, instead of just like a moon, like a crescent moon or a little dot that shows the light source. So what are we going to have Hello Kitty doing this time around? Well, I do believe that Hello Kitty has a tail like a bunny, so I don't really want to have the tail, because sometimes you can see Hello Kitties sitting down. I'm not going to do that. Let's go with we're going to be holding a pen, I think. We got to make it sort of like something that Hello Kitty might hold. Although I think I've probably seen Hello Kitty holding like a paintbrush. But in this case, we're going to be holding a pen. Okay. And then over here, we'll have the other hand. Okay. I think I did that thumb a little too big. It's okay. We'll be holding onto a book though, I think. We'll say it's like a diary or a sketchbook. And here we're going to do shoes with laces. Just going to do a little bit of outlining quickly. So it's really not that much more complicated what I did here. Just using my imagination to add another feature or something to it. Now, the lines under the neck here seems a little bit off. Now, what if we did something else with that? Well, I'm going to try to fix something here because I kind of made something a little bit strange. I go with a wider outline too. And then we can hop back in here with the bunny pen and add a little bit more color to it. We're about 20 minutes in. And right here we can say, simple enough, I think. I can kind of correct a couple little things here in my cursive writing. All right, next, the bunny pen. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to use yellow first. Yes, yes. Yellow in the nose here. Oh, that's exciting. Let's get rid of that little dot if we can too. Okay, well. Blue again for the overalls. We'll scribble that in. So the place where I get the bunny pen, it's a place called Yo-Yo So. And it's interesting. I like to buy pens to give away, and that's fun because they have pens that are not crazy expensive, but they're still like useful. So if you have a Yo-Yo So, you should go visit them and see what neat things you can find. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm a paying customer. So inexpensive pens can be decent quality too. And I am a fan of the bunny pen. We're going to go with green for this sketchbook. So I kept this along the same sort of styling. I didn't go really complicated with the drawing. I'm just putting time into it. which I think is fun to do, even for something as simple as this. All right, well, I think that's kind of it. I mean, should I do the shoes in a different color? Because, oh, you know what I didn't do? The bow. Oh, you can't miss out on the bow. It's like one of the main features of Hello Kitty herself. I gotta live this life. It's a Hello Kitty buddy. I admit I'm not really super duper familiar with Hello Kitty. I get to see some of what Hello Kitty does, but yeah, there's a whole world involved in this stuff, and yeah, people are major collectors, and there's lots of stuff. All right, well, folks, that is basically it. We'll get a look at this other one here. That was the less complicated version, and then the slightly more complicated version. So yeah, well, you can hang out in my YouTube channel here and go check out some of my other videos. There's some wacky things in there. So again, thanks for visiting. I hope you have a wonderful day. Yeah, come back again. All right, folks. Ciao for now.